Hello and welcome to Quiz Class. I'm your host, Ellen, and today we have 100 questions on British knowledge. Let's take a look at our Quiz Class awards. And here they are. Let us know how you rank in the comments at the end, along with the answer to the bonus question. What is the newest airport in London? London Southend, London Heathrow, or London Gatwick? London Southend. Where are the pilgrims traveling from in Geoffrey Chaucer's The Canterbury Tales? London, Oxford, or Cambridge? London. How long was the BBC in operation before it became a public corporation in 1927? It was public at inception, 5 years, or 50 years? 5 years. What is Jif Cleaner sold as in the UK? Sif, Kif, or Sif with an S? Sif with a C. Guy Fawkes Night marks the gunpowder what? Pact, pundit, or plot? Plot. Which was not a George Eliot novel? Middlemarch, David Copperfield, or The Radical? David Copperfield. Which British city boasts the world's oldest operational electric railway? Cornwall, Pascoe, or Brighton? Brighton. What ancient empire existed in Britain from AD 43 to AD 410? Roman London, Roman Angleterre, or Roman Britain? Roman Britain. What style are the British Houses of Parliament built in? Gothic Revival, Georgian, or Victorian? Gothic Revival. Which automobile group currently owns Bentley? Audi, Volkswagen, or Mercedes-Benz? Volkswagen. Complete the farewell. Cheerio, old mate, pal, or chap? Chap. Where is the HMS Neptune based? Scotland, Wales, or England? Scotland. What was Kitchener's army during World War I? Women, volunteer, or students? Volunteer. What products are made by Charlotte Tilbury? clothing, jewelry, or beauty? Beauty. What did the BSA in Birmingham manufacture? Airplanes, guns, or automobiles? Guns. Who is not one of the Teletubbies? Po, Dinky Dinky, or Lala? Binky Dinky. Which British institution was the first national public museum in the world? Victoria and Albert Museum, the British Museum, or the Natural History Museum, London? The British Museum. Which London theatre was built to showcase Gilbert and Sullivan comic operas? Adelphi Theatre, London Coliseum, or the Savoy Theatre? The Savoy Theatre. Who wears a chasuble during an Anglican Mass? Altar server, priest, or deacon? Priests. Which British perfume house makes the wood sage and sea salt scent? Penhaligon's, Creed, or Jo Malone? Jo Malone. What is the name of the King of England's weekend home? Frogmore Cottage, Windsor Castle, or Kew Palace? Windsor Castle. Which British city was not heavily bombed during the 1940-1941 Blitz? Liverpool, Manchester, or Bristol? Bristol. In 1990, who did the Imperial War Museum commission as an official war artist in the Gulf War? Angus Fairhurst, John Keane, or Gary Hume? John Keane. What style of bag is the Cambridge Leather Goods Company named for? Saddlebag, satchel, or briefcase? Satchel. What name is given to the British parliamentary system? Westingham, Westphalia, or Westminster? Westminster. What marine organisms the remains give the white cliffs of Dover their eponymous color? Forums, diatoms, or coccoliths? Coccoliths. Who was Mary, Queen of Scots, the only surviving legitimate child of? Charles III of Scotland, William IV of Scotland, or James V of Scotland? James V of Scotland. Which British restaurant has not earned 3 Michelin stars? The Fat Duck, the Black Swan, or the Waterside Inn? The Black Swan. Who is the head of the Home Office in the British government? Home Minister, Home Executive, or Home Secretary? Home Secretary. Which is not a McVitie's biscuit? Hobnob, Jaffa cake, or Tim Tam? Tim Tam. In which century did the British government permit unlicensed gin production? The 16th, 17th, or 18th century? The 18th century. Before his solo career, which pop group was Robbie Williams a member of? Take That, Five, or Wham? Take That. Which witch is Jadis in the children's book series The Chronicles of Narnia? Red, black, or white? White. In which part of Britain is the River Wampool? England, Wales, or Scotland? England. Which landmark is officially known as Her Majesty's Royal Palace? Westminster Abbey, Tower Bridge, or the Tower of London? The Tower of London. Introduced to the Royal Air Force in 1918, what was the role of Hamble Baby? Reconnaissance, supplies, or bombing? Reconnaissance. Which British group was the biggest band in the world from 1970 to 1975? Dire Straits, Pink Floyd, or Led Zeppelin? Led Zeppelin. What sport is not held at an Old Trafford stadium? Tennis, cricket, or football? Tennis. Which tabloid was involved in the phone hacking scandal of 2011? News of the World, Times of the Day, or Examiner of the Week? News of the World. Where in London is the Cenotaph World War I Memorial? Westminster, Islington, or Whitehall? Whitehall. Which Irish milliner is favored by the British royal family? Alexander McQueen, Philip Treacy, or Isabel Love? Philip Treacy. Up to the end of April 2025, what was the UK's leading goods export? Crude oil, aircraft, or non-ferrous metals? Non-ferrous metals. When was the whist trick-taking card game not widely played in England? 17th century, 18th century, or the 19th century? The 17th century. Which woodland animal is an enduring symbol of Britain? Hedgehog, badger, or fox? Badger. What is the most famous British warship? The HMS Alliance, the HMS Victory, or the HMS Warrior? The HMS Victory. Which cathedral is formerly the Cathedral Church of the Blessed Virgin Mary? Lincoln Cathedral, Winchester Cathedral, or Salisbury Cathedral? Salisbury Cathedral. Which tobacco company introduced the absorbable hygienic cigarette in 1908? Kent, Dunhill, or Rothmans? Dunhill. Compared to Scotland, by what margin is Wales the least populous country in Great Britain in 2025? Almost 1.3 million, almost 2.3 million, or almost 3.3 million? Almost 1.3 million. Who was a core Allied power alongside the UK in World War I? Czechoslovakia, Poland, or Hungary? Poland. What is the National Library of the United Kingdom? The British Inventory, the British Library, or the British Records? The British Library. What is the St. George's Cross flag used for? British monarch coronation, state funerals, or the England national football team? England national football team. Which actor was not part of the Blackadder television sitcom? Rowan Atkinson, Stephen Fry, or John Cleese? John Cleese. What is the headquarters of MI5? Bletchley Park, Whitehall Mall, or Thames House? Thames House. Which is not a British crisp brand? Walkers, Tyrells, or Keogh's? Keogh's. Where is the British Summertime Festival series held in London? Hyde Park, Hampstead Heath, or Richmond Park? Hyde Park. What is the nickname of the Yeomen of the Guard? Redcoats, Beefeaters, or Yeoguards? Beefeaters. As of 2025, which edition of the Oxford English Dictionary is in preparation? third, fourth, or fifth? The third. Which actor hasn't starred alongside Hugh Grant in a Richard Curtis film? Toni Collette, About a Boy, Julia Roberts, Notting Hill, or Andie MacDowell, Four Weddings and a Funeral? Toni Collette, About a Boy. In which country is the Trump Turnberry Ailsa golf course? Wales, Scotland, or England? Scotland. What is a 99 with a flake? A cocktail, ice cream, or a sandwich combo? Ice cream. Which is not a British motorcycle? Royal Highfields, Bro, or Superior Triumph? Royal Highfields. Who referred to British persons as a lime juicer in the 1850s? The French, the Australians, or the North Americans? The North Americans. What is the national day of Wales? St. John's Day, St. David's Day, or St. August's Day? St. David's Day. What is the average completion rate for swimming the English Channel? 1 in 5, 1 in 10, or 1 in 20? One in 5. Which YouTube comedy series is hosted by Amelia Dimoldenberg? Woke Up Like This, In My Living Room, or Chicken Shop Date? Chicken Shop Date. What color is the Transport for London logo? Blue and red, red and white, or blue and white? Blue and white. After training, which branch of the military was Prince William commissioned in? Army, Navy, or Air Force? Army. Which industry street was developed as part of the Burlington estate in the 1730s? Piccadilly, Oxford Street, or Savile Row? Savile Row. What is the traditional flavor of rock candy? Caramel, elderflower, or peppermint? Peppermint. Which West End theater hosted the Beatles, leading to reports of Beatlemania? The Old Vic, the London Coliseum, or the London Palladium? The London Palladium. Who was the first British writer to be knighted in 1820? Sir Walter Scott, Sir Robert Burns, or Sir Charles Dickens? Sir Walter Scott. Where were Italian and German ships seized during the British World War II Operation Postmaster? Portugal, Morocco, or Spain? Spain. What did British scientist Tim Berners-Lee invent in 1989? Video conferencing, the World Wide Web, or smartphones? The World Wide Web. What hymn is the poem "And Did Those Feet in Ancient Time" best known as today? Galilee, Jerusalem, or Mecca? Jerusalem. In which country is the Vale of Glamorgan? Wales, Scotland, or England? Wales. Who was not a creator of the original Doctor Who series? Donald Wilson, Aldous Huxley, or Sidney Newman? Aldous Huxley. What term refers to the SS Great Britain's steamship launched in 1843? English 76, Windsor 76, or British 76? British 76. Which Prime Minister replaced Rishi Sunak in November 2024? Liz Truss, Nigel Farage, or Keir Starmer? Keir Starmer. What is the largest supermarket chain in the UK by market share? Sainsbury's, Tesco, or Waitrose? Tesco. Which documentary filmmaker released The Century of the Self BBC series in 2002? Stephen Lambert, Louis Theroux, or Adam Curtis? Adam Curtis. What is Cheddar Gorge in Somerset made of? Sandstone, limestone, or granite? Limestone. What is not a type of British cat? Cornish Rex, Devon Rex, or British Rex? British Rex. Which reality television music series started in 2001? The X Factor, Pop Idol, or All Together Now? Pop Idol. What does the British slang snog mean? Hug, shake, or kiss? Kiss. In which decade were the Challenger 2 battle tanks developed? The 1940s, the 1960s, or the 1980s? The 1980s. What material are barber jackets best known for? Waxed linen, waxed cotton, or waxed leather? Waxed cotton. Which poets are associated with the Lake District? Romantics, contemporary, or Victorian? Romantics. What islands are Islay single malts made of? Orkney, Inner Hebridean Islands, or Shetland Islands? Inner Hebridean Islands. Which board game was conceived during World War II air raids? Guess Who, Tatopoly, or Cluedo? Cluedo. Which World Racing Championships began in Congham in the 1960s? Turtle, snail, or ferret? Snail. Which country was the last to join the sovereign state of Great Britain? Scotland, Wales, or England? Scotland. What color is the iconic Selfridges bag? Red, yellow, or blue? Yellow. Which museum is housed in a former Victorian flower market building? The London Transport Museum, the Science Museum London, or the Postal Museum? The London Transport Museum. Which is the largest island in the Channel Islands self-governing dependencies? Jersey, Guernsey, or Morsey? Jersey. Which writer's first novel was Every Day is Mother's Day? Philippa Gregory, Zadie Smith, or Hilary Mantel? Hilary Mantel. What era was Queen Elizabeth II's engagement ring from? Art Deco, Georgian, or Art Nouveau? Art Deco. Which uplands are commonly described as the backbone of England? Pennines, Gallines, or Cadines? Pennines. Which British film director received a knighthood in 2024? Guy Ritchie, Christopher Nolan, or Sam Mendes? Christopher Nolan. What is the full name of the 84-mile-long hiking wall path in England? Coronation Wall Path, the Gendenham Wall Path, or Hadrian's Wall Path? Hadrian's Wall Path. Where was the World War II Special Operations Field Training in the UK? Western Wales, Southern England, or Northern Scotland? Northern Scotland. And for our bonus question, what nickname is given to England's national flag? Let us know the answer in the comments, and of course, how well you did with our quiz class Einstein rewards. Thanks for playing, and we will see you next time. Bye-bye.